What's up, guys? Welcome to Box to Box Football. Yeah, I'm back again, and a week after the Champions League final, I was thinking, like, man, what a disappointing final that Champions League was. Because to be fair, the build-up to that final was huge. We were looking at a lot of people saying this could be the best final we've seen in the last 20 years. Oh my days, look at the styles. I'm excited. We're definitely going to see goals. People are calling it 5-4, 4-3. People were looking at big score lines, the way the both teams approach the game. We're thinking we're going to get a proper game here. And we kind of got a dud. It wasn't a horrible game, but what we expected, it didn't happen. But it got me to think. And it got me to think about all the great Champions League finals. And especially recently, with the kind of duds we've had in Champions League final. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to rank them. I'm going to bring back the tier list. And I'm going to rank the last 15 or 16 Champions League finals from 2005 and onwards, guys. Rather, we're gonna go from all the way to classic to trash. All right, guys, let's get into it.
So, guys, before we get into this, I'm going to rank every game on three bases: the quality of the match, the moments of the match, and also the story behind the match. So we're going to start off with the 2005 Champions League final, AC Milan versus Liverpool in Istanbul. The game finished 3-3, and Liverpool won the game 3-2 on penalties. Now, this game, to me, a lot of people would argue this is the greatest Champions League final, or just greatest football final of all time. Like, you had everything in this. You know, AC Milan started the game like a house on fire, taking a 3-goal lead. Liverpool didn't really look like they were going to come back. They went back at halftime. Somehow, in the space of 15 minutes, scored 3 goals, brought it back to 3-3. And it was all AC Milan again. I don't know how Liverpool even won this game. I don't even know how they made it to penalties. They had a 15-minute spell, and it was just all AC Milan. Chance after chance. You look at AC Milan's team: Clarence Seedorf, Maldini, Kaká, Shevchenko, Gattuso. The list goes on. It was an incredible team. Hernan Crespo. But Liverpool, with players like Milan Baros, went on to win this final. Like, it's incredible. But when I mentioned finals, I also talked about the story to the final. And what made the Champions League final so special was Liverpool's story all the way to the final. The game against Olympiacos, being 2 goals down, needing 3 goals to qualify. Everyone remembers that Gerrard amazing goal. The game against Juventus. No one thought that they were going to win this game. They ended up beating Juventus, and obviously Chelsea, who at the time was the best team in England and the most dominant force. Played Liverpool 3 times the same season, beat them easily in all 3 games. Steven Gerrard was kind of on his way out. Was he going to stay? Was he going to go? Liverpool coming out on top with the whole story behind the comeback. So many amazing moments in this game. This game is by far a classic and could be probably the best of all. So, guys, we're going to move on to the next one now, and it's going to be the Champions League final of 2006, Arsenal versus Barcelona. The game finished 2-1 in Paris. Now, this game, to me, is a very personal game. This was, as a kid, this was my first proper Champions League final. Obviously, I watched the Liverpool one, but I didn't really understand it. Me being an Arsenal fan and seeing my team there, Henry. This game was Henry versus Ronaldinho. Who was the best player? And Henry obviously was my guy at the time. Arsenal were terrible in the league, but great in the Champions League. Barcelona won the league, was amazing throughout the season. This game is known as, also the Jens Lehmann final, but this was the first Champions League final where, like, seeing a red card, it really spoiled the game, to be honest, because I felt before then Arsenal showed a lot in it, and maybe if Jens Lehmann didn't get sent off, we probably would have went on to win the game. But it's hard for me to rank it, because the game is basically, when I think about the game, I think it's Henrik Larsson, him coming on and really changing the game. Arsenal sat back, tried to withstand pressure. Barcelona getting the 2 goals when Arsenal were tired. The final was good. I can't say it was great. I can't think of any magical special moments in it. You know, maybe the final goal by Belletti, but yeah, it was just a good final. I can't criticize. I can't say it was horrible, but yeah, I'm just going to put it in the good section. So, guys, we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to have the Champions League final of 2007, AC Milan versus Liverpool, the rematch in Athens, Greece. Now, This one is a rematch of the 2005 final. AC Milan wanted their revenge. They did get it, beating Liverpool 2-1. But if I'm going to rank it on what they gave us last time, this is a complete dud. You know, I can't really think of that many great moments in it. Obviously, Inzaghi 2 goals, the one hit off his back, and then the second one, which he took really well. The most memorable part of that whole final to me was the referee blowing it up a bit too early. I think 2 minutes early. For some weird reason, Liverpool got a late pullback goal from third count. But this one is like the last we've seen of the great AC Milan team. This was like the final one. People might say them winning the Serie A in 2011, but this was their last real moment in the sun. Because when you look at it, they were all quite getting old. A few years later, most of them will end up retiring. Again, I don't want to say all right. You know what? I'm going to say all right here, to be fair. I couldn't think of that many moments in the game, so I'm just going to put it in the all right section. I just think it wasn't that special. Never lived up to what they gave us in 2005. Guys, we're going to move on to the next one now, and it's a Champions League 2008 final. Manchester United against Chelsea. The game finished 1-1 in normal time, and Manchester United went on to win 6-5 on penalties. The game known as Moscow in the Rain. This game is a special game to me. Honest to God. As a final, it gave you everything. Now, you had two English clubs in the final. I think this was the first time it's ever happened. The two best teams in England, even in the league, they both finished first and second. That literally was by 2 points. They went into the final game with a point separating them. It was very, very interesting for me, to be honest. So many amazing moments in this final. Now, again, I based this whole tier list on like three things. The quality of the match. The quality of the match was brilliant. Both teams went head to head. Chances on both hand. Ronaldo's, you had your Drogba's, your Lampards. Great stuff there. Moments. Now we talk about moments in finals. You had the John Terry slip. Drogba getting sent off. The goals in the game. The drama of great save, missed chances, the rain, and then Anelka missing the final penalty. This game to me is one of the best Champions League finals I've seen, and easily this goes down as a classic without a doubt. So guys, we're gonna move on to the next one, and it's the Champions League final 2009, Barcelona versus Manchester United. The game finished 2-0 in Rome. This final to me, I thought about it and I was like, I'm not really sure about where I should put it, but I spoke to my friend and he made me understand and put the whole thing in like perspective. The match was good. You know, Manchester United started off well. Barcelona grew into the game. To be fair, Barcelona came in the match with a lot of injuries. They got their goal, withstood a bit more pressure from Manchester United. Manchester United didn't really give us as much after the goal, but then I mentioned also moments. And when we talk about iconic moments, Messi rising up ahead of Van der Sar and was it Rio Ferdinand? Yeah, Rio Ferdinand to head the ball home as he runs over to the corner flag. He grabs his shoe. What a moment that was in the game. And I also talk about the storyline behind it. The storyline behind this was a few things. Messi versus Ronaldo. This was the start of the era of Messi and Ronaldo. This was Ronaldo's final game at Manchester United, who was the best player. If either team would have won it, they would have went on to win the treble because Manchester United won the League Cup and the league that year. Barcelona were going on for an unprecedented treble. Like, so many amazing storylines in the game. For that reason alone, the storyline behind it, this easily has to be in the classics section. Yes, guys, we're going to move on to the next one now. We have the 2010 Champions League final, Inter Milan versus Bayern Munich in Madrid, the Santiago Bernabeu, the Mourinho final. That's really all I can say. The Mourinho final. Inter Milan went on to win the treble, the first time an Italian team went on to do that. I feel the run to the final was an absolutely amazing. Them ended up beating Chelsea and then going against this Barcelona team. I felt the main story was in the semi-final. Mourinho stopping Barcelona, getting to the Bernabeu, and preventing them from winning the Champions League in the Bernabeu, which would have been huge for Barcelona and would hurt Real Madrid really badly. The final was a bit of a dud. Can't even lie. It was a Mourinho type classic of him just shutting down the opposition. Bayern Munich didn't really give that much. I remember Iron Robben was the most important player that year. He had an amazing year. It's crazy goals he scored. He scored one goal against was the Fenerbahce, and he also scored. No, it was Fiorentina, and then he also scored an amazing volley against Manchester United. He was kind of going there with a bit of a knock, and he didn't really see the best in him. The first inkling, I got Thomas Muller. The match overall is Diego Mito's 2 goals. The match overall was just, I don't remember too many moments in that game. And if I don't remember moments in that game, and me watching it, yeah, they won the treble. I want to say, I'm just going to put it in the all right section. I can't really think it's good. It's good, you know? Should I? No, yeah, let me put it in good. They did go on to win the treble that year, so that at least deserves a good. So we're going to move on to the next one now, and it's the Champions League final 2011, Manchester United versus Barcelona. The game finished 3-1 in Wembley. When I think about this is what I call the perfect final. Generally, the perfect final. This was, if 2009 was the start of tiki-taka football, 2011 was the pinnacle and kind of the end in a way of this amazing story. Like, they came onto the pitch that day and they completely, if Manchester United players would say, oh, they were outplayed in the 2009 final, 2011 final, they were just wiped off the field completely. Utter dominance from Barcelona in that game. Manchester United came into the game. They played a 4-4-2, and you're thinking, could they really do that against Manchester United? Against this Barcelona team, people were saying this was the worst Manchester United team in history, but Ferguson always found a way. This was known as the Guardiola Messi final. Messi was tremendous throughout the day. Xavi, Iniesta, United couldn't cope with him. And I mentioned moments, the Messi goal, just the whole game in general for Barcelona. It was just a moment. You as a football fan, you stood there in awe to realize, like, what are we watching here? This is honestly the best bit of football I've ever seen. And talk about the final, talk about the football. Yes, it might have been one-sided, but as overall, this was the pinnacle for Barcelona. This, to me, goes on the classic. People never forget this final. And easily, yes, I'm going to pop it in the classic section. Going to move on to the next one, guys. The 2012 final, Bayern Munich versus Chelsea. The game finished. Let me just check here. What scored the game finished? I know it was on penalties. Yeah, Chelsea won the game 4-3 on penalties. And now, I remember what I told you about. I base it on 3 things: the quality of the match, moments, and the build-up. You know, the storyline behind it. The match was a bit of a dud from the point of view. It was so one-sided. Literally, Chelsea. I remember one moment from Chelsea going forward, and that was from Ryan Bertrand. I think the ball might have went wide, or just got tackled by Philip Lahm. I can't really remember any attacks from Chelsea. Bayern Munich utterly dominated them, chance after chance after chance. But this final is based on 2 things: the moments and the storyline. This storyline didn't begin throughout the whole year. This storyline started in 2005 when we all remember the ghost goal, losing and then not quite beating Liverpool, the final in 2008, the Barcelona debacle in 2009, and not sure could they do it. This great Chelsea team could never quite get to that European trophy. They'll all get old, last chance, and the fairy tale throughout the whole season there. The manager debacle, Villas-Boas getting sacked, and Roberto Di Matteo coming in, the Barcelona game, you know, just so many, the Napoli game, like, this generally led them up to this moment, being 1-0 down against a Bayern Munich team in Munich. They had no chance. Drogba missed the cup final out of nowhere with the bullet header, getting them back into the game. What made it also remarkable is that Chelsea, when it came to penalties, were terrible. Chelsea weren't a great penalty-taking team. You look back at history, especially against Liverpool, they kind of flopped. But for them to be a Bayern Munich team who bet Real Madrid on penalties, who had German players, and we all know what German players I like in penalties. There's our Peter Cech in goal. Peter Cech, who never dives the right way when it comes to penalties. If you know, as an Arsenal fan, he ended up saving in the penalty shootout and also saving Robin's penalty. Messi and Robin missing the penalty. This whole thing is about the storyline. The storyline and the moments in the game. Drogba's header, Chelsea winning on penalties, the save penalty from Iron Robin. As a final, yes, it wasn't a great match, but as an overall moment, what a moment. The greatest moment in Chelsea's history. This to me is a classic. So guys, we're going to move on to the next one, and it's the Champions League 2013 final. Bayern Munich back again against Borussia Dortmund in Wembley. Now, this game finished 2-1, and you talk about the quality of a match. This generally, you could say, from two teams going toe-to-toe, is probably the best throughout all these finals. You could say maybe Manchester United. Actually, no, the quality of football overall, yes, you could say it was the best. It was an absolutely amazing final from both teams. Borussia Dortmund, this was the kind of pinnacle of like Borussia Dortmund, Lewandowski, Royce. Götze didn't play in that, but like just so many great teams. Jurgen Klopp at his absolute best. This Bayern Munich team coming off the hurt of the previous year, losing it in their own backyard ceremoniously against Chelsea. As an overall final, an amazing moment when Robin got the goal to redeem himself from missing the penalty against Chelsea. As an overall final, this is a great final. I'm not going to prove it in classic because I just feel it didn't have that memorable moment that just made it stand out, but it was an amazing final. I'm going to put it in the great section. Again, guys, we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to go on to the 2014 Champions League final. Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid in Lisbon. The game finished 4-1 in extra time. Now, remember what I told you on what I'm ranking it on. Absolute dud of a match. Atletico Madrid. There's so many different uncertainties in the game. Diego Costa wasn't sure that he was going to play. Ended up playing, coming off in like the first 6 minutes. But this was all about Real Madrid and them getting the decima. Now, Atletico Madrid take the lead with a scrappy goal, and then the rest of the game was just boring, complete dud. And I'm thinking, like, they're gonna blow this. The chance of a decima, they're gonna go on more. We're gonna be more inquest from Los Blancos, and then Ramos rising in the 90 minutes to head home in extra time. That's when they really take over. Just what a moment! The Gareth Bale goal. As an overall moment, and then getting the 10th Champions League, it should be a classic, but because the final was such a dud, like it had great moments in the game, but not as many great moments as like the Chelsea one. I'm just gonna put this in the great section for the reason alone of if I'm ranking the match, I'll probably put it in the trash section, but the moment of Ramos with the header, Bale with the goal, Ronaldo when he scores, 400, they're already trashing him, he whips off his shirt. Like, yeah, this goes down as a great final to me. So guys, we're going to move on to the next one. Barcelona against Juventus in Berlin. This final is, to me, the MSN final. The whole Champions League was based around MSN. Neymar, Suarez, Messi, them guys getting them right. Barcelona's whole run was quite straightforward, you had some, I'm not sure if they could do it there, but there's so much quality in there. The final overall was like, never once I really felt that Juventus had a chance of winning. I understand they got the equalizer, but even then it was like, you're just waiting for the goal to go in, and then when Suarez scores, and then Neymar wraps it up. He's like, yeah, it's great. As a final, I'm going to put this in the all right section personally. Yeah, all right. Nothing great about it. Yeah, just all right. MSN, cool. So guys, we're going to move on to the next one right now. We're going to look at the Real Madrid 3 in a row. Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid in Milan. The game finished. Let me just make sure. The game finished 5-3 on penalties. And of the 3 of the finals that like Real Madrid won in a row, this one is probably the biggest dud out of all them. I don't really remember too many great moments. Even like the run to the final wasn't that great. They bet like Wolfsburg and Roma. I'm not saying that I take nothing away from them teams. It wasn't like the most spectacular Champions League. And the final was all right. Griezmann, yeah, you remember Griezmann missing a penalty, but not too many great moments there. The two moments I really remember in the game was Carrasco when he scored. He went over to kiss his girlfriend, and then when Ronaldo scored the winning penalty, whipped off his shirt. Looked like he ripped it off. That's all I remember. I don't know why I keep on remembering Ronaldo taking off his shirt, which is quite weird. But I want to put this. No, it wasn't that bad to say trash. It was just all right. It was, yeah, definitely the worst of the all right, definitely. Okay, guys, we're gonna move on now to the next one, the 2017 Champions League final. Real Madrid again against Juventus in Cardiff. The game finished 4-1. This is known as, to me, the whole Champions League was kind of known as the Ronaldo Champions League. Just his amazing run throughout it, getting clutch moment after clutch moment, him scoring 2 goals in the final. Hat-trick against Atletico Madrid, hat-trick against Bayern Munich. I think he broke the record for most goals that season, or was it, I think, 16 or 15. I'm not sure if it was the record, but yeah, again, it was an amazing goal from Mandzukic in the game, but even then, you never really felt Real Madrid were in danger of losing the game, you know? I don't think it was, I feel like Juventus gave Real Madrid a bit more of a scare, and there's a bit more moments in the game, but I want to say, now, I want to put it in the good section, but do you know what it is? I'm going to pop it in the good section, yeah. I'm going to be nice and pop it. Yeah, it was good fun. I think it was a lot better than, for me, Juve Barcelona. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it in the good section. So we're going to move on to the next one, the last of the Real Madrid 3P game against Liverpool, 2008 Champions League final. The game finished 3-1, Liverpool versus Real Madrid in Kiev. This game is known for, is it Karius, whatever that goalkeeper's name was. Mo Salah was coming into the game. Liverpool were actually, I don't say that they were favourites, but people were looking at them as, yeah, they can win this. A lot of threat in the game. Mo Salah going off kind of killed off the game, but this was mainly known as the Karius game. Come on. We all remember him throwing off Benzema, rebounding off Benzema tapping it in, and then the Bale strike where he catches it but goes through his hands. That kind of killed the final in a way. But this game did give us, to me, arguably the greatest Champions League goal of all time. This could go hand in hand against Zidane's goal against Bayern Leverkusen in 2001. Or 2002. I'm not quite sure. I want to say, I'm going to put it in the good section again. I think this was better than the game against Juventus. I'm going to put it ahead of that. So I'm just going to put it in the good section there. So we've got 2 more left. So we have the 2019 Champions League final, Liverpool versus Tottenham in Madrid, in the Atletico Madrid Stadium. This final was utter trash. I'm not even gonna budge here. Like, yeah, the greatest Champions League campaign ever, but the final was just horrific from start to finish. The game was over in the first 3 minutes. Then a penalty that we're not really sure was a penalty, was not a penalty. People people can debate that. The one real moment I remember you think about that game was Origi getting that goal, but the whole game was terrible. Pochettino played Kane when Lucas Moura should have started, who scored a hat-trick in the semi-final. I think what really killed this game was that there was like a 3-week period before the game. So it was the final game of the Premier League, and then both teams had the 3-week rest period, which was, to me, 3 weeks is way too much, nearly a month, and then they have to play the most important game of like the majority of them players' career. This final was just trash. Can't even lie. Popping it in the trash section. The first one in the trash section. If anyone tells this is a good final, I am not having that. Seriously, not having that. And the last one was obviously this year's final, the 2020 final, Bayern Munich versus PSG in Lisbon. So much expectation. As a final, it didn't really deliver. Like, thinking of moments in the game, of course, the goal Both teams had chances, but it could have went either way. I wasn't really a fan of the final. I'm just going to pop it in all right section. Yeah, maybe give it a bit more time to marinate, but I'm just going to pop it in the all right section here. But yeah, guys, I'm done. I've ranked all 16 finals. Tell me what you think there. What for you was the best final out of the lot? I had 5 classic finals. In my eyes, the Liverpool 2005 final is probably the best final out of the lot. But tell me what you think. Tell me what's your favorite final. Comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.